وإن يستغيثوا يغاثوا بماء كالمهل يشوي الوجوه بئس الشراب وساءت مرتفقا.
Children, our sons and daughters who graduated from this school, and as well to congratulate the parents, the teachers, the school management, and the well-wishers of these students. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bless them and increase them in knowledge. Ameen. وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. Whatever you see yourself doing is with the approval of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I can vividly recall that last year, the same invitation was extended to most of us, but we were not able to attend. I can remember I reached up to ABUJA Barrack, but there was no road. I had to go back from there, and many of us who were coming from that address were not able to witness this ceremony last year. But with Allah's approval, today we are here in order to identify ourselves with the success of these, our children, and to congratulate the parents, the teachers, and the school management. I followed with keen interest the recitation of these 19 graduates, and Alhamdulillah, the recitation was beautiful and was wonderful. If you observe the application of the laws governing the sciences of the recitation of the glorious Quran, that is Tajweed, you know that these students were blessed with good and qualitative teachers in the area of the glorious Quran. So I urge the school management to do more in order to make them comfortable. The parents also to assist in making these teachers more comfortable and to support them in wherever they need in order to help you to train these children. Time is not on my side. I have a wedding party to conduct immediately after Zuhr prayer in our mosque. Therefore, I'm going to be as brief as possible. I want to briefly talk on the challenges of children upbringing, especially in this era. Children upbringing, as you know, is an obligation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala charges the parents. A duty which whoever discharges, inshallah, his or her reward is going to be paradise, and whoever neglects that obligation is certainly going to regret it, because he or she will be in the hellfire. This is in the light of the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum naran wa quduha an-nasu wal hijara. O you who have believed, save your souls and your family from a kind of fire that is being said the annas, with human being, wal hijara, and stones. The normal fire our wives used to cook food in our various houses is either through cooking gas, firewood, and so on. But that fire, the firewood of that fire, are human beings and stones. What a great fire. May Allah save us from it. Ameen. And you can only be saved from that fire if you take the training of your children seriously. And I am sure you will agree with me that we are facing challenges this time around, and many of us as parents have failed woefully in terms of training their children. And if they did not correct the mistake they have done or deliberate attitude to neglect the upbringing, wallahi, this fire is going to be the abode of so many of us. May Allah the Most High save us. Ameen. For those of us, many of us here in this canopies, who can be described as BBC. You know what BBC means? BBC. It's not that BBC London. Yes, BBC. They said born before computer. Born before computer. You can agree with me, the training, our training was relatively very much easier compared to the training of our children today, due to so many obvious reasons you know. You see, the society during that time, during our time, was not complex. It was homogeneous in nature. And training of children was considered as a general and collective responsibility by both the parent and all elders, let's say in this camp or in a village or in a particular area, which is totally different today. It is today that you can find a brother, an elder brother, exercising disciplinary action on a child of his brother. They will end up in police station. Because why is he disturbing his son? Look at it, his son. For you to punish the son of your brother for misbehaving, no, you won't find it easy. You may end in police station. This has been happening and it is still happening. This is one of the reasons why parents are failing woefully, and if they are not lucky, if they do not change, certainly they will be in that fire which we have mentioned in one of the verses of the glorious Quran. You can agree with me that that time communication challenges, communication was not so sophisticated. Communication was very much limited. Therefore, the relationship between you and other communities far away from you is indeed very difficult, was very difficult. Family relationship was stronger to the extent that in our time, you cannot, especially in front of your father or your mother, to call your son, my son, who are you? Kachet Anna, who are you? Except your elder brother or your younger brother will call your son, my son. Who are you to say my son? But today, my son, over protection of children, over believing in what children did, even if what they did was wrong or is wrong, you say, no, my child will not do that. And it will be proved to you that you were wrong what you did. We are witnessing this type of cases, whereby a parent will be invited in a school, secretly, for the problem of his child to be addressed. You see, your child did this and that. Say, over my dead body, my child will never do so and so thing. Until it is proved to him, then he will be put to shame. This is the time we are witnessing this time around. You can agree with me that even marriages that time, many of us and those who came before us, it was our parents that chose spouses for us. But today, who are you? If you are not lucky to choose a husband for your daughter or for your son, who are you? No matter how righteous that person is, because the first factor being considered is how wealthy that person is. Not how righteous, how good, how what, no. And the boys, what they consider, how beautiful that lady is. That is number one factor. And at the end, the marriage will not last. Within short time, you see crisis, you see problems, you see yourself in court, you see marriage dissolved. These, in a nutshell, are some of the few things that are telling us that upbringing during our time and this time around, indeed, there are differences, clear differences that makes children upbringing today very difficult for parents. Parents, they shield their children. His child will do something wrong. He said, no, he did not do it. Well, the child knows that he did it, but you are protecting him. He knows that you as a father who is trying to protect him, you are telling lies. Instead of him to appreciate you, his mind will be telling him that this old man is a bad man. He did not know anything. But you are there protecting him as a father or as a mother. It is today that you can see a father going to the school of his child, fighting teachers to the extent of slapping or beating a teacher because he disciplined his child. Tell me how that your child can be a responsible person in future. There is no way indeed. These teachers, you can see, are complementing your effort, and they are doing some of the things that you yourself cannot do in your house in upbringing your children. Wallahi, there are fathers or mothers who cannot discipline their children in their houses. There are so many cases we see in schools whereby a father will go, he and his wife, on the issue of his child in a school. After discussing with the principal or head teacher and whatever, then they will be going. He will tell the wife, okay, remain in the car. I have forgotten something in the principal's house, office. He will go and say, oh, look, if this child misbehaves, beat him, but don't tell her there, don't tell her there. Yes, because he knows the trouble he's going to face in the house if she knows that he's the one who instructed that his son should be disciplined. This is the problem we are facing. And the same thing, I'm sure, in this type of schools, I'm sure similar problems have been happening. Parents who will come and abuse and fight teachers in front of students. How can those your children be responsible? There is no way they can be responsible. Now we are in the age of exposure. These children have been exposed to so many things that we did not know after the time we are even 30, 40, 50 years. As old as you are, some of the things known by your child in primary school or secondary school, wallahi, you did not know them. Because you are what? You are BBC. You are BBC. While they are what? They are BAC. Born after computer. So you are analog, whether you like it or not. Well, they are what? They are digital. Yes. So until you understand this, that these children have been exposed to so many different cultures, so many different things, that a lady or a girl will have as many as thousands or million friends in Nigeria, in UK, in US, in wherever she has friends. And you'll be surprised that her bestie, what is bestie? Do you know what is bestie? I'm sure you do not know. But if you go back, ask your daughter or ask your child what is meant by bestie. Eh? Meaning her best friend. And you'll be surprised that her best friend is a boy. Or his bestie is a girl. This is the situation we are. Therefore, these children are exposed to pornography. Children are exposed to acts of criminality. Children are exposed to drug and other substances abuses. Things that you did not know when you were at their age, or when you even passed their age, but now you are the person now protecting your children that they should not be disciplined. Nobody should taught them, okay, remove them from school and come and teach them in your house if you can do it. I'm sure you can't do it. So we have to be very, very careful. So we emphasize on civilization and right that no, it's her time, it's his time. No, as I suffer, I don't want my children to suffer. Wallahi, that is the beginning of their suffering. You acquire wealth, you amass wealth from halal, from haram. You leave behind for them, wallahi, thinking that they will enjoy or they will not suffer. That is the foundation of their suffering in this world and the hereafter. Take it from me, so that you can correct it before it is late for you. Again, you see, this removal of communication barrier. You can talk, you can communicate, you can relate with anybody in this part of the world without any restriction, regardless of who that person is. Whether he is cultist, whether he is a criminal, whether he is this, whether he is drug baron, whether he is whoever he is, whether male, whether female, whether whatever. These are the children we have today. Therefore, we have to be very, very careful as parents. We have to join hands with those who can help us, especially teachers of schools of this nature. Teachers of schools, where you take your children, especially now that Allah blesses us with schools that combine Western education with Islamic education and even memorization of the glorious Quran. Before your child finishes secondary school, he commits Quran into memory and he has his 9 or 10 papers. Excellent, A, B, C, A, B, C. And he has Quran in his memory. But to some, well, we witness so many parents. As they come to inspect the school, Ajah will say, over my dead body, how can they bring my children here? After all, my friend is, my friend, they are paying 500,000 per term, or 1 million per term. How can you bring my child to this Islamic school? They operate the same curriculum. And in addition, they have schools for memorization of the glorious Quran. But that school is substandard as far as we are concerned as modern day parents. Wallahi, we are deceiving ourselves. Hajjah will say over her dead body for children to be in this school. And you'll be apologetic, say no. I don't know Wasani Kenazo Day, I don't know what they are getting, but it's going to be taught. I'm telling you the right, I'm telling you the truth. You see, now we have proliferation of different platforms of social media without restriction. Your child is on Facebook, is on this, on that. And no restriction, his relationship or her relationship with whoever in this world. And you think that you are raising children who are going to be praying for you after your death? No. Do you think they are going to be an asset after your death? Whom the Prophet ﷺ said that when a man dies, all his sources of reward have stopped except what 3. Sadaqatun jariyah, or ilmun yuntafa'u bihi, or waladun salin yad'u lahu. You did not initiate any sadaqah jariyah. You have not been a scholar to have taught students to be praying for you and to be imparting that knowledge and to be a source of commission for you while you are in grave. And then you misuse your opportunity of raising righteous children by over-pampering them, over-protecting them, and also making sure that you make them to enjoy whatever form of enjoyment. They did not know the dignity of labor. They did not know something they will do by their sweat to earn 100 naira, 1,000 naira. No, you have everything, therefore you provide everything for them. Even if you have everything, it's very bad of you to provide everything they request from you. You have to be very, very careful. You have to train them well, expose them to some level of hardship to know that yes, money is not just like that, you get money anyhow and spend it anyhow. But if you are the type who say, no, I have money, money is not my problem, therefore my children and my family are not going to suffer. That is the foundation of their suffering in this world and the hereafter. So this proliferation of so many platforms of social media, and we belong to them, it's another form of evil. So many things. To just give some examples, so many evils have been happening as a result of what these social media that we belong and our children belong. And they utilize them in a negative way. I'm not saying that everything there is bad, but you can utilize them in a positive way. You can engage in da'wah, you can learn Quran, you can learn hadith, you can learn so many fatwa and so on. But most of our children and even the parents, wallahi, are using these platforms in a negative way. That's why you see so many problems happening, which each and every one of us here can give so many examples. I came across a video clip. One of our scholars in Adama is Malam Yola. He was mentioning of one Adamawa state indigene living in abroad. He is extremely rich. Therefore, he formed an NGO. That NGO mostly are girls and ladies that belong to that NGO. He gives them money, he sends them money. But the problem is that if if you are ever initiated in that NGO as a lady, you will never marry. You are automatically his wife. You will never marry. Automatically you become his wife. She will be snapping parts of her body, send it to him. She snap this part, send to him. Send this part, send to him continuously. I don't know whether some of you come across that video. That's why you have to be very, very careful. And warn your children, monitor them very well. What platform, what social media platform are they into? So that you will not be a culprit of what? Of failing to discharge the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the verse we have quoted, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum naran wa quduha an-nas wal hijar. Because we are tilted to materialism. Therefore, wherever your daughter is going to get money, it's not your problem. Wherever your son is going to get money, it's not your problem. We can remember another very fresh case, not more than 2-3 months ago, in Kano State. In Kano, very popular. One lady, Omita, whose boyfriend was a non-Muslim Chinese man. The parents were aware, but he used to spend large sum of money on her and on the parents. Therefore, they allowed the relationship to continue. Maybe in the end, he discovered that they were not ready to marry her out to him. What happened? He killed her. He went to the house, he knocked, he opened by force her room, he met her lying on her bed, he descended on her, took a knife on her until she died. These are parents, some kudi. Ita ana san diyarta na da farin jini saboda haka tana ta zuwa da kudi, ana ta bata kaya ba abin da ya dame ta tayi abin nan tana ta murna. This is how many of us are, both men and women. We have to be very, very careful. Again, you see, just yesterday I also came across another video clip. This happened in, it was a Moroccan Muslim lady. She met a friend, let me put it in quote, a friend on Facebook. Therefore, that friend wanted to marry her. So they continued their relationship until the time the relationship was so intimate. She discovered that that man was not even a Muslim. He told her lie that he was from the Khalij, that is Gulf countries. She discovered that it was lie, but no going back. His intention was that if he got married to her, then he will embrace Islam. So first time he sent 10,000 dirham to her. He told her to make some tests, blood tests, this test, heart, and so on and so forth. You know what is required now if you are going to marry? It's only maybe blood test to confirm things like HIV, hepatitis, and so on. But he told her to do every form of test, heart, lungs, everything. Then she did. He sent to her, to him. After sending, the man got satisfied that she was okay and she was physically fit and she was healthy. Therefore, the relationship continued. Then a date for marriage was fixed. He sent another 30,000 dirham to her for her to make some preparation for the wedding. Then he went to Morocco. The wedding was conducted. He took her away. Within 1 week, none of her relationships, including her parents, can communicate with her. They reported to security agencies. After investigation, they discovered that that man killed her and cut her into pieces. Her heart, her lungs, her whatever have been removed. Somebody not knowing the man was an agent of selling human parts. So that test he asked her to do was to confirm whether her parts are going to be marketable or not. Since he was satisfied that he will get a lot of money from her various parts of her body, he went ahead. That was her end. What was the result? Social media. abuse of what? Facebook, which many of us today, both the parents and the children are culprit of. That's why some of our houses, you as a husband, you do not have time for discussion with your wife. Wallahi, some, he is there sitting, she's here sitting. Everyone was engulfed in what he's doing in his handset. They can only communicate by sending text messages. Madam, do this. Okay, sir, I need this. That's the only way they communicate. Therefore, he has another wife. Even if you think that you are only one, he has the second wife. That is his handset. If you are thinking that you are the only one as a husband, she gets another husband. That is her handset. We have to be very, very careful and tell ourselves the truth. That's why you see marriages do not last this time around. Children are disobedient to their parents. And the parents did not even know where and how they can arrest this problem. You are the foundation, you left it since. Because you fight teachers of your children, you overprotect your children, you provide whatever comfort they need from you, despite the fact that it's not necessary. But because you have money, you amass money, you do it, you do whatever for them. This is the missing link. And many other things that parents do today that are detrimental to the upbringing of their children. So some pieces of advice. We have to seriously be praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us righteous, to make our children righteous. We have to also try, no matter how we love, you know there is love between a father or parents and children. But the actual love is that train them, punish them where it requires punishment. Give them what they require if it is positive. Deny them where it requires that you should deny them. Don't over-pamper them. Don't give them comfort beyond expectation. By the time you die, no matter the amount of money you leave behind, wallahi, it's just a matter of some months. They squander everything and they are now beggars on the street. But leave them with nothing, but with a good training and good moral upbringing of Islam, and see how they are going to be in their future. My brothers and sisters, we need to ensure that we fear Allah and we instill the concept of fear of Allah in the minds of our children. This will be their remote. This is what is going to be remote controlling them. Whether you are around or you are not around, whether they are in public or they are in isolation, that will be their guiding principle, and they will not try to offend Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will be good as much as possible. And then support the teachers of your children. Cooperate with them. They are doing a very good work for you. And they are doing so many things that you cannot do. Why can't you support them? Why should you not assist them? Why should you not be visiting them from time to time, inquiring about the progress and the attitude and the conduct of your child? It's not your problem. So far, at the end of the term, your child will come that he passed exam, he did this, that's all. So because these private schools, they understand your psychology. They charge you heavily and they will not allow your child to fail, even if he's the dullest person in the class. So they will be giving him, after all, ba ka biya ba? Shikenan ka biya makin ka biya komai, duk dakikancin shi baya faduwa. Kai kuma kana nan kana ganin komai is okay. Nothing is okay, I assure you. So we have to be very, very careful. We have to understand the situation we are, and we have to do the best we could to discharge the responsibility of training our children, so that we will be safe before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Due to time factor, please, the little I have said, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it beneficial to me and all the listeners here. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us in training these our children. May they be a source of pride for us, for Islam, for Muslims, and for the world at large. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make all our affairs and tasks easy. May Allah most high forgive our shortcomings. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.